Hi everyone. Uh, I my name is Ingrid. This is my Patreon page. Welcome. I am an illustrator and a cartoonist, so I do comics, but also just kind of fun, cute drawings, lots of animals and horror-related stuff, horror movie things. Um, so this is just a demo video. Here is a painting that I'm working on. It's a bat. I'm doing a series of bats. So this is the inked version, and I'm gonna paint it. And you guys can watch. And hopefully you enjoy it and you'll subscribe and you'll get to see more of this kind of thing. So here we go. So this is a Honduran white bat and he's about to open up the pit. So here we go. Here goes the painting. It's white, so albeit I'm going to be leaving a lot of it sort of blank, at least on the fur parts. A lot of this particular bat is yellow. The ears, the nose, and the wings are mostly a nice kind of really acrid, acidic yellow. Not a warm one. A lot of green in it. So I'll be mixing in some green. I'm also a really messy painter. I use pen and ink a lot of the time, which is my preferred mode for drawing, at least. Painting, I'm not too huge on digital. It just doesn't come naturally to me, so oftentimes I just stick to either gouache or watercolor. It's easier, it feels more natural, I feel like I have more control of it. Digital is fine. I'm capable of doing digital work, but there goes the ice cream truck. And digital just kind of, it doesn't feel the same to me. I understand that a lot of people work that way these days. It's totally fine. If I if I felt like I could, I would probably do it more, but slightly like pulling teeth, just a little. It takes a lot of practice for me to feel like I'm doing good digital work, which is very rare. So I kind of just stick to what I feel comfortable with. It's easier, it's more enjoyable, and I think it comes out better. I'm more of a messy person as far as art and perhaps regular life. So getting a little messy is a little appealing to me. I know you guys probably can't see too much of what I'm doing, so I'll hook y'all up with a couple of views every few minutes. Actually, let me see if this light turning off works better. Yeah, maybe you'll see a little more, maybe not. Yeah, we'll try to put the light on. It's August of 2020, so I've spent a lot of the last few months just staying at home painting when normally I would be working. But since quarantine and everything happened, I've been trying to draw and paint every day, which has been much more enjoyable than going to a regular, I'm not going to say boring job, but if you ask me what I prefer, of course I'm going to choose painting and drawing all day, because that's what I love, and that's what I feel like I'm meant to do. So if I have the choice, I'm going to do it. I get pretty watery with my watercolor. It gets kind of messy, but that's fine. Messy is preferable to me. Being neat is overrated and usually unnecessary. I understand why some people like it, but it's not for me. I kind of just like going with whatever I feel like doing. I guess not just in art, but regular life. I've never been one to be orderly and follow rules in any aspect, so that kind of extends to my artwork. Here he is so far. It's coming along pretty well. Lots of yellows, a little pink in there. I'm partial to the Honduran white bat because I'm of Honduran descent. So I feel like if I was born an animal, there's a good chance it would be a Honduran white bat. I'm small and often angry, just as this little guy looks. He looks really angry. Small anger bean. I did attend 2 different art schools. I went to the School of Visual Arts for 1 year for cartooning, and I graduated from the Fashion Institute of Technology with a degree in illustration. So I am formally trained. Not that it did me much good. I'm a big comics reader, so some of the content I'm gonna have on this Patreon is comic reviews and just stuff I enjoy. Probably just some videos of stuff I'm reading, some reviews, things like that. Because I do love comics. Not just making them, reading them, going to comic events, conventions and things. Once things are back to normal, I will resume that kind of stuff. For now, everything is from home, which is fine. It can be kind of exhausting doing all that stuff. But I'm sure everyone will be happy when everything goes back to normal. I've worked New York Comic Con for the past decade, so this year is a slightly welcome break from all that. I don't mind taking the year off. It sucks a little, but at the same time, it's one less thing to worry about. And right now we have a lot of things to worry about, I suppose. Hopefully in the near future I'll get a better camera setup so you can actually see what I'm doing a little better. Here's an update. So there's a little bit of shadow on that white. I'm not just going to leave it white. Normally I don't use black at all, except for ink. As far as painting though, like I don't just, the shadows are made of blue and like a burnt sienna. Learning how to paint, I had my background is in fine art initially, and I had a teacher that refused to let us use black paint just because you can make a much richer black if you combine other colors. So if I'm painting, I don't ever use black paint. I always mix anything that's black. So for watercolor, blue and brown makes a really nice black. For acrylic, I like to use a nice dark purple. A dark purple with a little bit of yellow. Sometimes a little bit of green, which is kind of yellow, but with some blue. But I don't even buy black paint. I'm a snob that way. Ink kind of doesn't count because I don't really paint with ink. I draw with it, so I will only do line work with it. Which is my favorite thing to do. I love pen and ink. I usually use a Japanese manga nib or a G pen nib. It's a lot of fun for me and it's very satisfying. So I try to, pretty much everything I do has some aspect of pen and ink. It makes me the happiest. And with anyone making art, it should make you happy. Not to sound like Bob Ross or whatever. But art exists for a higher reason than physical satisfaction. I don't go to therapy anymore. I just make art at home. That kind of does the trick most of the time. There's a good chance I should be going to therapy, but this is a good substitute. And I don't need insurance for it. So I'm going to keep doing it. Besides these bat paintings, I often do horror movie related stuff because I love horror movies. I kind of grew up on them and they've been a staple in my life for as long as I can remember. And sci-fi. Although I do less sci-fi art just because I don't know why. Horror movies are my comfort. I guess I need a lot of comfort. Cute animals, horror movies. So I got this nice gray. A lot of people would just water down gray, but I got that gray by mixing purple and kind of a yellow ochre with a little bit of extra blue. So it's a little richer than just like watering down black. That tends to look a little flatter than I would like. Now it's time to decide what color to do the background. A lot of times I don't plan ahead and I will just color things the way they should look as I'm going. So this is gonna have a nice blue background because there's a lot of yellow and a lot of orange, and it'll be a nice contrast. So kind of a greenish bluish turquoisey color. I would probably get yelled at for doing the background last by like all of my old painting teachers, but with an easy thing like this, a simple, quick painting like this, the background doesn't matter as much. But don't tell anyone I said that. If it was acrylic or gouache, something a little more opaque, then I probably would have gone with the background first. But since this is just watercolor, it's easy to pick up if I make a mistake. And I can even kind of like change my mind if the color doesn't look right once I put it down. It's not my primary concern in this case. a few little areas to fill in. I'm almost done. Gotta make sure I fill in any white spots that are not supposed to be white, like the little fuzzy bits on this guy. Alright, here we go. I'm done. Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe to my Patreon page. I would like to continue doing this. So hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.